YouTube? Robert the Monster Among Marks Drap here, and I'm back again, joined as always by my good friend and tag team partner, Sierra. How we doing today?
We're doing good. Just got home. Haven't even got my flats off. Look at you, just pushing me around.
Hey! We are already late. Didn't even change the thumbnail from yesterday.
Whoops.
That's where we're at right now.
Whoops.
Right now, I don't have my phone. I can't do anything. I'm just running
my
with what
phone's
we
in
got.
that direction.
Yeah, my phone is in another room. But we're
if
here.
I pull up the internet, I'll freeze.
Yeah, we're here for you guys because we love you and we want to give you our preview, predictions, thoughts, and maybe here in a little while, a little bit of news and rumors to go with this week's.
Never mind. I need to find my phone because I just saw a rumor.
Okay.
Keep going.
For this week's for this Sunday's WWE pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. I tried to say it like Vince. I don't think that was too bad.
Yeah, you didn't do the, which was really good.
Yeah. I think I actually have the T in the text of the banner above our heads here. Good job. So, I mean, I'm going to let you pick which matches to talk about first, so that way we can kind of get into this whole thing. I think that this is going to be just, broad strokes. I think this is going to be a damn good pay-per-view.
Oh, speaking of which, I should probably write down what you guess and what I guess, too.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
Alrighty, so up first, I have Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan versus Maurice and The Miz.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely going to be first on the card.
So, I was thinking about this. I thought about this real hard. I was listening to a couple different podcasts and what they thought. Mm-hmm. And someone brought up a really good point.
What do we got?
So, you remember how Daniel Bryan said that his comeback was a failure, basically, about a month ago? So I feel that, just hear me out.
I'm going to let you go.
This is, we've had a couple matches from Daniel Bryan and The Miz thus far. This is just another match in the evolution of their feud.
Okay.
I have a feeling that whether Daniel Bryan wins or loses this match, Daniel Bryan has got to go to a dark place quick. Kind of like the Gargano effect, got to get all the way down before you can build yourself back up. I think Daniel's going to go on a rough streak. I don't want to say a losing streak, but he's going to have it a little rough. I wouldn't be surprised if Randy Orton ends up being his next big feud, just to bring that back and to remind Daniel Bryan his lowest of lows. But I think that Miz is I think there's going to be a number one contendership match coming up for the WWE Championship after Hell in a Cell. Mm-hmm. I think they might do that at the Super Showdown in Melbourne.
Yep.
But I think that Miz is going to potentially be one of those combatants, and he's actually going to win the number one contendership at Showdown if they do that. I would like to then think that he would beat AJ Styles, and that would set up Miz and Bryan at Mania for the belt. That would complete Daniel Bryan's comeback because he finally gets the championship, and it gives the Miz another chance at that belt.
As much as I love seeing the Miz, so I'm guessing you're taking Miz and Maurice for the win on this one.
I am.
And who's actually going to pick? Oh, God damn it!
I don't care. Miz and Maurice freaking win.
I mean, that's not a bad choice, but
if Miz and Maurice win, Miz is the one who's going to get the pin.
Damn it! I gotta find that.
That's
button.
What I think.
So you think Miz is gonna get the pin?
If Miz and Maurice win, it's gonna have to be Miz because Maurice has not impressed.
Okay, I mean, I'm actually going to go the other direction in this and say that you're not entirely wrong. This feud needs needs a bit more time. It does. There's no arguing that it's rather in its infancy here in with Daniel Bryan's return and this being his first major feud. I would say that you're not. I also heard the rumors that it's actually going to be Daniel Bryan versus The Miz at Super Showdown for the #1 contendership. So that's where I think.
Ooh, that's cool.
That's where I think Daniel Bryan is going to pick up his win, his redemption victory. And here's the thing: when he goes to face whoever is indeed the WWE champion at that point, which we'll get to that, I feel like The Miz may screw him over and thus set maybe a triple threat or some other fun things down the line. But in the end, here at this juncture, it's actually going to be Brie that picks up the pinfall victory on Maurice. Why? Because this gives Miz more ammunition. Oh, you couldn't do it yourself. You had to have your wife do it. You couldn't beat me. You know, that kind of thing. I've still beaten you. And this, in turn, you know, gives them an excuse to continue on the rivalry.
So, okay, so I'm going to... I don't have a card, but I'm going to...
I have...
Because it's a tag team match. This is backwards, so you can't actually see it.
No.
Because it's a tag team match, I think we should get a point for the team, and then if we get the person, we get an extra point.
Extra points extra points can be awarded for the correct person and the method of winning.
That's getting... Let's...
Because it's 1 point for winner. An extra point for the correct person, a third point for the method of victory. We're not doing anything beyond one.
I didn't really care about the finishes this time around.
I understand.
Okay, so what do you have Brie getting Maurice on?
I got her because here's the thing. Maurice cannot carry a match. She's not supposed to. She's not been in the ring in forever, and her style of wrestling went the way of the dinosaur for a reason. Because the fans don't want to see two pretty girls having a slap fight. They want to see two women in the ring who know what the hell they're doing and doing it. So,
well, you say that, but you forget Brie.
And even though Brie has been that pretty girl that could slap fight, I feel that in recent years, ever since, hell, the Bella Twins started out as backstage arm candy. Let's not forget. Transitioned into being wrestlers in the Divas era. So they were pretty girls who slap fought. And they were the piss break match. Then you had the women's evolution. And I think that actually forced some of these older women who could wrestle, who had that talent in them, but maybe not all the skills refined, to step up their game. And this is what's brought us to Brie Bella having maybe taken a few cues from Daniel Bryan to get to the level where she's maybe on the level of like I want to say a Sasha or maybe even not Asuka or Charlotte, but you know, she's definitely of the women's wrestling era now. She can carry a match. So, hang on.
Getting back to the original question, how is Brie getting Maurice?
I need one more second. The cat has decided to pull out one of my thumbtacks on the green screen back here.
Let's not
she's just going to do it.
Match, please.
I mean, she's absolutely just going to end up, tagging herself in, thus forcing, the blind tag, forcing Miz out at the moment she doesn't want to be there, and then getting the one ups on Maurice by just straight athleticism.
So is she just gonna roll her up?
No, I think she's going to, hit Rack Attack 2.0, clean pinfall, middle of the ring.
Does Brie do the rack attack?
I think she can. Either that
I
or
don't
she's
think
going to
she
do.
does though.
I mean, she's got something.
I need a answer. We'll get back to him.
Okay,
but I'm gonna go ahead.
I have it. Sorry, I had to steal it from the cat. I love her to death, but she seems to have a fascination with pulling all my thumbtacks out of the wall.
Shiny objects.
It's actually clear. It's
Still has a shine.
Moving on. Yeah, maybe because I know she has a full-on finisher, but I don't know what it is offhand.
Okay, so let me get this. Is it a pin or a submission?
She's gonna pin.
Okay,
like I
that's
said,
all I care about.
I did say that to start with.
Okay, I'm also trying to look up this rumor I've been looking for.
I'm sorry. We're all having hard
Moving
days.
on. Okay, so moving on.
Yes, please.
Oh, hold up. Before we move on, again, this match is a meaningless match. This is going to set up Maurice and Brie at Evolution. And then, yeah, Miz goes on that winning streak because he's going to be the number 1 contender in my eyes. But moving on, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose for the Raw Tag Team Championships.
I mean, I know you can't see it, but I'm pretty sure you know which shirt I'm wearing. I've only got, 2 wrestling shirts.
But Balor's not in this match.
I'm sorry. Allow me to correct the count. I have 3 wrestling shirts. I forgot.
Seth Rollins, you have Seth Rollins shirt. You have Iowa's own shirt on.
I do.
Okay, I don't have any memorabilia on right now because I'm still in my Christian work dress.
Because yours truly was born in the wonderful city of Cedar Rapids, which is not too far from Davenport, Iowa, home to Iowa's own Seth Rollins. Now, that being said, I actually have Ambrose and Rollins, either one, with the win, and it's going to be via pinfall. I don't know who's going to pick it up, though.
You think the Shield's going to hold all 4 titles?
We'll get to that.
They're going to hold all 4 titles for a moment?
We'll get to that.
Wow. So let me write that down.
I'm trying to restrain the kitten.
Because as much as a Shield fan as I am, I did not vote for my boys. I actually chose McIntyre and Ziggler.
I thought about it for a good minute, but I think that having them lose will create a good storyline here in the later weeks.
So to counter, if you remember last week and the week before, we've had the heel locker room come out. Mm-hmm. They can't come out. They physically can't come out and save Strowman in the match because Stephanie McMahon has made it very clear that Strowman needs to win the title, or she expects him to win the title. I do think the Shield will hold all the titles eventually. Definitely, that broadcasts my prediction for later, but not yet. I think that we could potentially see the heel side of the locker room come out, the Dogs of War, because there's no cage, there's nothing to stop outside interference, and therefore I think Ziggler and McIntyre will retain, but not necessarily win. That's why I was trying to get that one little thing earlier, because I don't want to just say DQ. I just know that McIntyre and Ziggler are going to retain. I don't care after that.
I mean, you don't have to. This is a completely voluntary thing, as has always been.
So let me just get yours again.
I got Rollins and Ambrose via pinfall.
And I have McIntyre and
And
Drew
Ziggler.
retain.
You just
McIntyre
retain.
and Drew. Just McIntyre and Drew.
Yep.
Um,
What do we got
you have
next?
pinfall. Hold up, I'm writing my shit.
I'm
Next
sorry.
is Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton in the our first Hell in a Cell match.
Yep. Can I
Go ahead.
say that as much as I love Jeff Hardy and all the things that Randy Orton has ever done, got away with arson, maybe murdered somebody, has done
Did
some
you see
terrible
that
things.
2K19's original promo teaser package is the House of Horrors match?
Nope. I wouldn't have
I
brought
thought
that
they
back
they
up.
the way they animated it was actually really cool.
Uh, well, I've got Jeff winning, but I feel like I don't care about so much the storyline more than the seeing the spots.
Okay, so you have Hardy going over. Pinfall.
Yep.
Do you want to get specific?
Nope. Jeff's
Okay.
Jeff's gonna win. I mean, I said we're probably gonna see a spot where Jeff does the swanton off the cage, but I don't
Well,
think that's a shock to anybody.
I'm glad you bring up the spot because you have to look back in past Hell in a Cell matches, especially just taking Undertaker Foley.
Mm-hmm.
Foley was the spot monkey.
Yep.
Foley did not win. And historically speaking, in Hell in a Cell matches, the spot monkey doesn't win.
That's true.
Um, Hardy's gonna take some nasty bumps, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a Swanton fail to connect on the announce table if they can get up on top of the cage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think Randy Orton's going over. I think he's going to win pinfall. I had an RKO in there, but let's not get specific.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Um,
How do you feel about that?
I
I
mean,
just I don't
here's
want to see Hardy come in on Tuesday limping, or
well,
to find out, or have to update my trainer corner with Hardy's injured.
I
He's 41 years old.
I know, and anything like that would be scary for him, and I think that being said, that's probably why he'll connect because hitting the announce table is bad, but having that other body is a little less bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they'll have the little inflatable pillow underneath of it that
Oh, I know
they
it.
always hit, but geez, I know this spot's coming. I just don't want to see it
Yeah.
because we've seen Jeff do all these crazy things, 40-foot tall swantons. The was it a swanton or a moonsault onto a maga from the top of the production truck? We saw him climb the scaffolding for his Punk feud.
Yep.
I don't know how much more I can take of this high risk daredevil, no fear Jeff Hardy right now because he almost messed himself up pretty bad before his Nakamura feud.
Yeah.
That's why that feud was so paltry in my opinion because Hardy wasn't at 100%.
I I think that as much as we don't want to see it, Jeff wants to do it. So.
Yeah, moving on though, for a match I cannot wait to see, it will probably be match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Becky versus Charlotte.
Oh.
I think this is
Oh.
going to be their middle match.
Here's my thing. I love what Becky's all of Becky's fire, all of Becky's attitude, and Charlotte's attitude in the same fashion has not been the gracious put upon face, kind of like AJ Styles has been. Uh, AJ is just reacting to a situation that's happened to him, whereas Charlotte is pretty much embracing that she knows she's amazing and she only blames Becky for being bitter. So she's not taking any responsibility, like, oh, maybe I made you feel bad. No, she's saying, I'm not wrong here. You're wrong. That's why you're going to lose. And that sort of attitude doesn't really play into the face dynamic. More, it plays into either a tweener or a heel. And I think that having Becky win here is actually the better move, because it validates her character, gives Charlotte more ammunition to turn and then reunite and terrorize the locker room, more than it does to have her come back as the underdog face. Because she's never an underdog. She can't be. She's Charlotte fucking Flair. She's amazing.
So the only issue I have with your turning heel with Charlotte and Becky is that I don't think the simple solution is to turn them heel and then get them back together.
Yeah.
I don't see that solution in my mind. This is a build-up match. This is not going to be a finalized match in any means, shape, or form. This is going to build up potentially to most likely Evolution, as we'll see them again. I think Charlotte's going to retain. Just because it's too early for Becky. They need to bring it even more heat into it, because I've not been sold on Becky's heel character. I really want to see her embrace that heel character. She looks the part. She's starting to act the part, but the words aren't translating, and I want to see them translate. I really don't think Becky's going to get this belt unless Creative has decided to give the title to Becky because of how over she is with the crowd. But again, she's the heel.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time, though.
So, but you have Becky?
I got Becky. Pinfall. She's not going to make Charlotte submit.
No, and I have Charlotte retaining, but I guess I'll throw in a pinfall too, because I don't think she's going to make Becky submit.
Yeah.
How? Oh, I didn't. Oh, wow. I was a liar. I have another SmackDown match.
What do we got?
The
tag team.
New Day versus Rusev Day.
Yeah.
Lead us off.
There's, like I said on Wednesday night's show, there's two possible avenues of direction with this match. The first being that obvious what Creative wants, and the second being what the fans want. What Creative has always wanted, and they've definitely pushed the idea twice before and been heartily slapped in the face by the audience, is breaking Aiden English away from Rusev Day for whatever reason. That's not something we want to see, because it doesn't work. Aiden English is a crucial part of why Rusev Day works. So I don't mean to interrupt you, but I'm not worried about Aiden English and Rusev breaking up after this match. Well, I mean, like I said, this is what Creative would have wanted. They would have Aiden English cost Rusev Day the match in some form or fashion, maybe thinking that he can do it on his own, or in the position that he's in at the time, that he's got everything handled, and he really doesn't, when he should have tagged Rusev in or done something different. This would lead New Day to win via pinfall and push them even further into a tag team title run. Now, do I say that New Day are bad tag team champions? No. I actually quite enjoy them on TV. But I feel like the dues that have been paid by Rusev himself and Aiden English in this regard absolutely merit a WWE title run of some kind. And in this instance, they're lined up for the tag team championships. It's already been said by creative that they want to put New Day on the map by having them hold the tag team titles the most times. So why not give Rusev Day a couple months with the belt, see how it all flies, and I got Rusev Day winning pinfall.
Okay. Wow. I think we have differed on everything thus far.
Yep.
This will be an interesting pay-per-view.
So you got New Day, do you?
In my opinion, the real question is not, are they going to break up Rusev and Aiden English? Is this a play to get another chance for New Day to put that number up to 6, and then 7, and then 8 and 9?
I don't know about 9. They only need 7.
Pretty sure they need more.
But it's not that they need more, that they will probably do more.
Well, and so I was thinking about it, and again, I've been listening to I've had a lot of time to listen to other podcasts, and just other people's opinions. Rusev Day is being treated like the Fashion Police in their highest moments with the Usos. But the Fashion Police never held the titles, did they? No.
No.
I think that I worry that creative's treating Rusev Day like the Fashion Police. That's what I worry about.
It's kind of a bridge feud.
Yes, I still think I would love to vote for Rusev Day because I think it'd be a ploy to up New Day's number. But I think New Day is going to hold on to it for just a little bit longer. Maybe the next group that steps up, Sanity, will get it. I think New Day will retain, though.
You could not see the eye roll, but I'm fairly sure you knew it was there. All right, let's move on though.
How about AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe?
I've been actually thinking a bit about this one from our show on Wednesday. I still think Samoa Joe's gonna win. There has to be yet further. I mean, he's amazing. He's a great in-ring technical performer, and
I sense a but.
Yeah, but I don't think he's actually going to capture the WWE Championship. I say Samoa Joe's going to win by DQ because, again, he's going to do something similar to what he did at SummerSlam, and that's going to cause AJ to go for a chair, go for something else, and we're going to get a disqualification. Basically, we're getting a non-finish on this one. And as much as I love Samoa Joe and I'd love to see him hold the title, it's not his time yet. It's going to be maybe one more.
So I think that you're on the right track with holding the title. I have written down Joe DQ and then Styles retains.
Yeah.
But I think Styles is going to sneak a win out. I think AJ Styles will win. But Styles is going to hold that title belt until the release of 2K19, which is next month.
Like I said, I got maybe because he's going to be in Melbourne, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's going to be in Melbourne.
So
I think
him versus Joe in Melbourne with Joe winning there would be something.
What if The Miz is the one that takes it off of AJ?
He can't. He's going to be in a match.
If he wins the number one contender match.
If he wins the number one contendership match in the greatest in Melbourne at the Super Showdown, how's he going to cash it in on that night? It's not a Money in the Bank contract.
If you'd let me finish my statement.
Sorry.
So I don't think AJ is going to lose the belt until The Miz is the one that challenges him. I think The Miz takes it off of AJ, which gives us a little Miz-AJ feud for a quick moment. Bring back Daniel Bryan into the mix. Maybe do an AJ Styles-Daniel Bryan number one contendership match. Have Daniel Bryan do it at the Rumble or something, or have Daniel win the Rumble. um, set it up for WrestleMania, and then have Daniel capture the title, and then potentially AJ be like, hey, I want my title back. That way, we get these great matches with AJ and The Miz, AJ and Bryan, Miz and Bryan, and then again, more AJ Bryan.
I don't.
And Samoa Joe will come in eventually, because Samoa Joe has had great matches with. He's wrestled Daniel Bryan. He's wrestled AJ before.
I don't hate the idea of Daniel Bryan winning the Rumble. It would be a reward to him for the things that he's done, and the one time that he entered number 30 and they forced him to lose. It would be a great kind of repayment in that sense. And having him face The Miz at WrestleMania for the championship is a wonderful idea. I think that what I'd like to see is Joe win it, hold it to Survivor Series, turns around, loses it to AJ, then they have their match at the Rumble, to close it out. And then we have The Miz step in. The Miz takes us from the Rumble to WrestleMania, where he's already won it by that point, and then faces Daniel Bryan. Because that would be wonderful. We'd still get those same matches, but we'd get Joe getting rewarded for the things that he's done, the time that he's put in, and the wonderful work that he's been able to do with the absolute shitty storylines that they've given him in some cases. And just turning every segment that he's in into must watch, must see. And putting a belt around him, making him a champion, is only going to make his stock rise further.
Okay, I mean, I agree with that, as long as, in my opinion, as long as it's Miz Daniel Bryan WrestleMania for that title.
Yeah. Love to see it.
I love how this all circles back to Miz and Daniel Bryan.
It does.
But moving on to a match that cannot circle around the Miz and Daniel Bryan, Alexa Bliss with her rematch against Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's title.
I wish you were close enough for me to bet on this, because I can make this revolve around Daniel Bryan.
Let's not. Let's
just 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon on this one.
Stop it. But, give me your prediction.
I got Rousey by submission. There's no way she don't win.
Yeah, Rousey's holding that belt for a while. They're setting her up like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, and she deserves it, because so far she's thrown herself so hard into doing this. She's not going anywhere else. She's not training for anything else. She's improving.
Oh, she's full time.
Yeah, exactly. And she's improving by leaps and bounds every week. She's doing everything she can to make her character, her in-ring technical abilities from UFC transition to wrestling, and it's paying off in my mind. Especially with her now wonderful ability to sell being put on display here. It's like, okay, we're going to see a lot of rib work by Alexa Bliss, maybe some body scissors, that kind of thing. But in the end, Rousey's going to cinch in that armbar, and she's going to win.
I wonder where Nia Jax comes back into all this.
That would be interesting.
Or just seeing her again. So we are in agreement. I think Ronda Rousey is also going to retain via submission. Shall we move on to our main event?
Please.
Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns in Hell in a Cell for the Universal Championship.
With the special guest referee of Mick Foley.
Yeah, and so I mentioned earlier that Stephanie wants Strowman to win. Mm-hmm. Corbin says this to them last week. And so Roman still does, calls himself the top guy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, in all of the feuds he's had, Strowman has been the one obstacle. Strowman is the real last obstacle to Roman's claim as top guy. There's no one else that is in Roman's way. He got rid of Lesnar. And he's gonna get rid of Strowman in this match. But eventually Braun will get that title. There's so many potential people on Raw that are so deserving of that title. Finn Balor, Seth Rollins. I'd love to see Ambrose have it. Make them true Grand Slam champions again. Just so many. There's so many people that deserve it, but I don't think Reigns is losing it yet. I think he's gonna hold on to it for a little bit longer, because you have to think about all the work that WWE put in to having Reigns finally beat Brock Lesnar. All of that work, all of the uphill battle they've had to get him over. By taking the belt off of him, they've lost all that momentum.
I mean, I can see your point. I absolutely can. It's not that far-fetched to say that having Roman lose would on one hand not be the thing you want to see happen, because they've invested so heavily in him. However, I gotta say, Braun Strowman, again, just very much like a lot of these guys that I pick, is deserving of it highly, because he's put in the work and he's had to deal with shit. I mean, there was nothing for him after Roman, after that ambulance match. It all went downhill after that for me, because I looked at Braun Strowman, and yes, he was intimidating, but he became a face and nobody cared. Everybody loved him, but nobody cared to see him challenging for a championship. I mean, hell, he was in that Fatal 4-Way, and I pegged him to win because it was the time. It would have given Strowman something to keep going with and to keep the belt on TV. But now we have Roman on TV, and they've invested just full bore into Roman as the person who's going to be at the top for quite a while. And yes, there have been stories where Roman is set for a lengthy title reign. Personally, I don't want to see that, because Roman Reigns as a character works better when he's got not only adversity against him, but everybody else as well. And this is kind of what they're setting him here, with Stephanie telling Braun he's got to take home the championship. I don't think we don't see Mick Foley take a bump from Braun Strowman. Maybe have him running power slam him at some point in the match when he doesn't get the 3 count that he wants.
You bring up Mick Foley as the guest referee.
I do.
I'm glad you did that, because I just had a thought. Mick Foley has been perceived as face for a very long time.
Yep.
He was a face GM.
Yep.
But he was really playing into that bang 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 stuff last night.
Cactus Jack.
He was not responding to Mr. Sacco. And you have to remember, Stephanie fired Mick Foley from his general manager position. Mm-hmm. And it has been now publicly said that Stephanie wants Strowman to win. I think there could be a potential plot twist with Foley being in there.
Do you think Foley's going to give it to
Foley
Strowman?
Is going to influence the match in some way, shape, or form. But I still have Roman Reigns retaining.
That would be interesting, especially because I think that you bring up that point, and now that you say it, I can kind of see the pieces coming together on this one for Strowman even harder, because in this case, he may, when the time comes, when that perfect moment comes up to put Strowman, Strowman's supposed to be pinned. He's been hit with everything. It's winding down in the match. The false finish doesn't seem apparent, and Foley doesn't count 3. Roman looks at him like, the hell, man? 1, 2, 3.
But then,
and this is where Mick reaches over, grabs a microphone and says, "I'm sorry." It's the only way I could get my job back.
Baron Corbin is not leaving that position anytime soon. I don't see that happening at all. Scratch that from the records.
No, hang on. Let me put the backdrop finish on this. Picture it. Heel Corbin, heel Stephanie, heel Mick. Mick aligning with the authority for one simple reason. He can't stay away. He can't be without the WWE universe. He wants to be in front of everybody again. And as Mick Foley, as Dude Love, as Mankind, they were never going to get the job done. And I mean, you said it yourself. It has the potential to put Foley in a heel position, and it would be completely understandable. I don't think the fans would hate him too much for it.
Okay, so when I said the heel position, the bang, 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 I was just referring to that Foley wasn't going to be a completely impartial ref. That's what I was referring to. I wasn't referring to a heel turn. I wasn't referring to Mick Foley joining the Authority. I was just referring to the fact that Mick Foley is going to play a bigger role in this match than just guest referee.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I just think...
But you have Strowman winning.
Oh, yeah, I got Strowman. Strowman's going to end up pulling this out. I think it's time for him. If not now, I don't see...
Do we want to do pinfall or submission, or do you just want to do the titles changing hands?
I had him by pinfall mostly, and here's the part that I didn't bring up earlier. This also gives, with Roman winning and not helping Ziggler, McIntyre retain, this gives them a reason to split away from Strowman. And
it's too early.
I mean,
it's way too early. You are jumping too many storylines. That storyline has such good potential because, yeah, people are already sick of the Shield. They want another team to root for. You are just breaking up all of these storylines left and right. Give them a chance. Let them breathe.
I didn't say Ziggler and McIntyre are going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere, but keep them. No, I want all three of them. I meant all three of them. Give that a chance. Oh my God. But that is the end of the pay-per-view because we haven't had any opening. Is there there's not been a match announced for the opening.
We have no idea if there is a pre-show or what's
Well, there
is
a pre-show. There is a pre-show. It's only 1 hour long. It starts at 6 versus the 5 usually is EST.
Yeah.
But speaking of EST and NXT, or someone who used to be in NXT and then in the cruiserweight division and is the man that Gravity forgot, Neville. I have some news on Neville. I just completely pushed us into some rumors.
Let's do that. Yeah.
So as it's well known now, Neville is not under contract with WWE anymore. Mm-hmm. But there's not been a word on the 90-day non-compete clause. Right. WWE hadn't said anything about it, and Neville hasn't spoken about anything since we last saw him. But here we go. In an update, Dave Meltzer reported on the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that although Neville has said nothing publicly and is free and clear to work anywhere he wants, when he has been contacted by promoters, he has said that he can't accept dates yet, but will be able to compete very soon. So that opens up the door for a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Ring of Honor could come back. You'd love to see him in New Japan Pro Wrestling. There's still a blind hope people have that he might do the WWE NXT UK. I mean, but I wouldn't hold your breath on that one.
Yeah, no, don't. Here's my prediction as far as Neville goes. I want to fucking see the genuine article Austin Aries Neville match that we never got. The good one.
there was a lot of shit behind that match. Austin Aries was a parasite to the cruiserweight division.
Oh,
He left because they didn't get the royalties on the WrestleMania DVD because it was pre-show.
I mean, you're not
Uh,
wrong.
I don't care about that anymore, but I do have another interesting tidbit since we were talking about a recent NXT competitor.
Yeah.
Um, talking about our newest addition to NXT. We were asking, didn't we ask earlier who was the newest person?
Yeah.
Matt Riddle.
I knew that his name was Matt. I just didn't remember what the fuck his last name was.
And if you remember, Cassius Ohno cut that promo on William Regal saying that he was tired of being forgotten every time NXT got a new toy.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Riddle is the new toy.
Right.
I think we could potentially see Matt Riddle's first feud be with Cassius Ohno.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the role that he's not only accepted, but he's in full.
Well, yeah, but we forgot.
Fully embraced it. No, I'm talking about Cassius Ohno being kind of the first feud guy, because that was Dolph Ziggler's role for many years. And
this is gonna be a feud, not just a match, a feud.
No, yeah, that was Dolph Ziggler's role for many years, was to be the starting feud for many wrestlers. And
yeah, but at least it's not going to be a shitty feud.
Yeah, I mean, that's not entirely. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't his fault, but we're gonna also say you're not wrong. Here's the thing on that. I don't know anything about Matt Riddle. Even though I watched NXT, I know nothing.
I watch Evolve.
I could or I could not.
Just go watch some tidbits of Matt Riddle and you'll get as hyped as I am.
I mean, I don't doubt that the man is good.
Go YouTube Matt Riddle. YouTube it. Do it.
I've still got all of watching. I've still got to watch.
Put it on the to-do list. I still have the Mae Young Classic to watch and anything WWE, any of the UK shit.
Yeah, I mean, we're not covering either one of those, but I still want to watch All In. I still do.
Oh yeah, you need to watch All In. Oh my god, you need to
I know nothing. And again, yet further indications. I know not much about. In fact, I don't know really anything about New Japan.
You need to go to a Ring of Honor show.
I'm gonna watch All In. Mostly.
You need to go to a Ring of Honor show first of all, because.
No. Keep making your point. I'm gonna listen to it here a little later. I gotta stop the cat from eating something.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk to you guys then. For anyone who has not seen a Ring of Honor show, you need to go sing a Ring of Honor show. I've been to a couple Ring of Honor shows. I went to the most recent one I went to was the night after Best in the World at the GMU Eagle Bank Arena.
Right.
And I was in a kind of a funk. I wasn't talking about wrestling at the time.
Right.
It was very much just me. I had really lost my passion. I was losing my passion. I was trying to refine the passion. And going to a Ring of Honor event, that event put so much faith back in me for the future of pro wrestling, because Ring of Honor is amazing live. I've been to a New Japan show. Those are amazing.
I completely believe it, and especially with.
I'm just telling you, if you have the opportunity, you need to go, because it'll just reiterate how amazing wrestling is.
Yeah, and here's the thing: from all the indications that I've been able to dig up, the Bullet Club and New Japan and Ring of Honor, those guys working all together have made wrestling evolve outside of WWE, and it's kind of revolutionized the industry. And Chris
Jericho actually extended the olive branch. He actually tried to do a IWGP Intercontinental Championship versus the WWE Intercontinental Championship, which would have been Seth Rollins and Chris Jericho.
Oh yeah, that would have been
How
great.
amazing would that have been? And WWE did nothing.
Oh yeah, they don't want to though. They
WWE
don't
has
see it
been
in the
given
same.
the opportunity, and they are completely throwing it in our faces.
Well, here's one of the my moments of clairvoyance. I see this in kind of a worldview timeline from now on. Independent wrestling is going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to see better and better and better and better and better shows from Ring of Honor and New Japan and the like. And eventually, we're going to get. I feel like we're going to run into a situation where either A, and this is where the timeline branches, either A, WWE wakes up to the fact that these guys are fucking amazing and that they need to step up their game to keep up with them. Or,
WWE already knows that. New Japan and Ring of Honor, especially New Japan. New Japan is putting consistently 4 and 5 star matches on instant classics, while WWE was floundering after WrestleMania.
and you're not wrong, which is why SummerSlam was so amazing, is because they knew that they were struggling and they had to hit the reset. They had to fix it, so they did, and they're continuing to work to fix their mistake from earlier in the year and then make it better. Now that being said, the other option is, and this is also capitalizing on what WWE does normally, is they may know that New Japan and Ring of Honor exist and occasionally mention accolades won by people that end up working for them, but they will never acknowledge them as direct competition, and in doing so end up failing because they don't see how good these guys are. They don't believe them to be competition. They don't believe them to be a threat, and that being their downfall because they get snuck up on.
To counter,
Mm-hmm.
you say WWE doesn't see the threat that New Japan and Ring of Honor are,
No,
yet WWE is taking their talent.
well,
WWE has been trying to take WWE's been trying to get the Young Bucks for many years. WWE had Kenny Omega and let him go. Biggest mistake of their life. They brought back the Hardy Boys after their very successful run in the independent circuits with Impact and all of that.
mm-hmm.
They've taken Ricochet, Adam Cole,
Mm-hmm.
Redragon, the War Raiders, everybody that has come up, Chris Hero, everybody. They're taking all of these Ring of Honor, New Japan, indie talent. How many indie talents do we have on WWE roster right now? KO, Sami Zayn, Bobby Lashley did his own thing for a little bit. Shelton Benjamin did his own thing for a little bit. There's so many people that have come from Ring of Honor and New Japan. You cannot say that WWE does not see them as a threat because some of their top superstars, the new generation of superstars, are all pre-indie wrestlers.
Yeah, I mean, I completely recognize that. I'm saying they see these guys now, right? And I mean, you got to get your talent from somewhere, right? You can't just rely on posting, "Hey, we want wrestlers," at the performance center and hope it gets traction. That's not how you get talent, and that's why Triple H doing what he's done has gotten them where they are, because he went out and he did these things because he knows what's going on. So what my timeline was taking into account was the fact that Vince McMahon lives to 100, because it can happen, and it has indeed the possibility with the amount of money he has and the stunningly good care he takes care of himself. And now within these last few years, with him taking less and less and less and less and less presence on screen and doing more things behind the scenes and trying to step further back so he doesn't have to work as hard, that's less stress, meaning he's going to live longer because he's not as worried. So
you bring up Triple H and Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
You said Triple H has done his own thing with the indie circuits. Who's next in line after Vince either steps down, dies, is assassinated?
I completely agree that once Hunter takes the reins, he's going to be gunning for Ring of Honor and New Japan. Big guns as he has, he knows what's coming. And those golden days are on the horizon for us. We can see them. They're coming. But what I'm saying is until Vince fully lets go, New Japan and Ring of Honor are going to have a heyday.
You want to see what WWE is going to be like when Vince McMahon lets go? NXT.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon has no control over NXT.
Yeah. And here's the fun part. He also has 205.
I know.
Yeah, so we're starting to see I think the whole thing with Drake Maverick running with AOP is yet further intrusion of trips onto Raw, onto SmackDown. He wants to put those presences in place so that way his influences can be heard a little louder. Because if he's talking to his talent and he's talking to the guys that have worked with him for years and saying, hey, you know what? I got your back. I'm here to listen to you. I want to hear what you have to say. Oh, you don't like this certain position? Well, hell, you spread that round. It'll get there. And because he can't always say everything. Trips can't always say everything that's on his mind. But if he has a finger on the pulse, he can say, hey, I've been listening to the guys in the back, and the guys in the back ain't happy because of XYZ. We need to do something about this to keep the peace and keep everybody happy. But when he takes over the reins, woo, can't wait. I don't think anybody can wait.
Yeah, but, I really don't have anything else to add. That was quite a weird tangent we went off on.
Yep, it was wonderful.
It was great. But overall, how...
Got my feet up. I'm relaxed. I'm having fun. This is great.
Okay, but overall, how excited are you for Hell in a Cell?
Oh, I'm working, unfortunately, until 5 my time here at.
Okay, so you'll be home in time to watch the main card.
Yeah,
or you can fast forward through those stupid commercials in the middle.
Well, yeah, as I've established, I will be watching it via a website, and I can get past those commercials by watching it 2 times speed, as I usually do for the stupid shit.
Well, that and if you wait a little bit longer via website, you tend to get a higher quality, higher resolution.
Love the 1080p.
Would we like to go ahead and close out?
All right. Let's see. Worst match of the night. Who do you think's going to have the worst match of this card?
I have to look. Damn. You are not going to believe the words that are about to come out of my mouth.
I doubt it.
I think that the match that's going to struggle the most is going to be Brie and Brian versus Miz and Maurice. Simply because of the third, or in this case, fourth wheel.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree, actually. I had picked Brie Brian, Miz Maurice for the worst match of the evening. This is just going to be a struggle, a slog when the women get into the ring. But you know what? I hope this show wasn't a slog for anybody to watch through. So I want to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share all those wonderful things down below. Hit the bell for the notifications. Follow us on Twitter at InMoshPit. I'm at Rob's Random Roms. She's at Heavy Metal Hippie. Please don't hesitate to go on ahead and talk to us. And we will see you all on Monday night. Holy crap, that's going to be a short time.
Oh! Ah!
We got to do the review on Monday night. Oh no.
Oh jeez.
Later. Oh jeez, Rick. Later.